Hi, I am Lucas, and this is feedback to Steam pages, starting with Dungeon Concierge. Oops. I don't like the graphics, and I don't like this animation. Like, this is very poor animation. Um, I'm not sure I understand what the "you're not the hero" thing was. Because you're a wizard too? So it just feels like you're the hero anyway. Like, it just seems like some kind of action top-down action game. The fact that you said you're the janitor doesn't really feel different. Then you call it ends in bullet hell. Um, okay, now you're just adding another genre. This this goes on for a while, and I'm not sure what happened there. I'd suggest to shorten this. This ending is very long, and I still didn't understand what was going on, so it would be nice to see more zoom in to whatever is going on here. Um, let's look at the screenshots. I can't quite see the player in this one. I kind of see the player, but not really. New spell, ice wall. Sure. I don't like the visuals for this. We saw this in the trailer, I guess. Hmm. I mean, it's okay. Like I said, I don't super like the graphics. Um, the capsule is not super clear. I'm not sure what to say other than I don't like it very much. Become an overworked wizard janitor. In this, what is that fantasy? Like, who wants to be a wizard janitor? Like, there are some janitor fantasies on Steam where people were like, there was like the Viscera cleanup game, and there are cleaning games like those, I don't know, power wash simulator type of games. And this is kind of like in between and not either. You're not quite a wizard, and you're not quite a janitor. You're not quite cleaning up things. So I don't think going the middle of the road like this is good. I don't think anybody likes to be overworked as well. You might think, oh, people might identify with this, but people come home from work, they want to, I don't know, play a game, enjoy, and it's like, oh, become overworked. I don't think it's going to land. Uh, Frenetic dungeon crawler where you clean instead of raiding. It didn't really look like you were cleaning, but maybe I just misunderstand the game. It seems very generic. even though it sounds unique, but it looks very generic. Complete contracts, master and upgrade your spells, create powerful synergies, and use the environment to dispatch foes without making a mess. All while surviving the corporate grind. Yeah, I think I don't like the grind, overworked messaging. I think people want to escape from that, not engage in that more. I think it can work, um, but here it's just not landing for me. And it could just be the whole package, right? The other stuff, the art, and the gameplay that's not landing, and so I'm putting that on the theme. I don't think the theme was used well. And it's an action dungeon crawler, bullet hell magic, funny. Uh, you asked for help with the tags specifically. If you're getting similar games in the more like this, then you're doing the tags right. And if not, then you're not. It's really that simple. And I don't know exactly which games are similar to yours. Um, these look good enough. I'll go through the long description about this game. Become a dungeon janitor. I mean, you kind of did you just like replace enemies with stuff to clean up? Like it doesn't look any different. The same way you hit an enemy, you're just hitting a non-moving object. Then you're just kind of like making the genre of an action RPG thingy. You're just making that genre worse by making the enemies less interesting. So I don't think that's a good idea. And then we got a similar description to that one. Not the hero. Prepare dungeons instead of looting them. This this sounds like a cool idea, but I'm not really seeing that. I guess here you're setting up the monster and then what you run away from them. I guess that's kind of cool. I did not see that in the trailer. Maybe I just didn't catch it. Fill up chests and set up enemies instead of killing them. Don't make a mess. Enemies leave remains when you kill them. Have to clean them up if you goof around playing the hero. Traps and voids can help you deal with them. Make the most of your surroundings to avoid pay cuts and increased workload. I think you have a big brainstorming problem. I think this idea should have been brainstormed more. Because the thing that I think that people like about this kind of like action RPG top-down thingy, people like to come in and kill the enemies and loot the stuff and see a bunch of stuff explode and not care how it looks and get out. And then you have this, oh, we can do the opposite, right? It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be unique. We're going to make you clean it up and set it up instead of destroying everything. But I think that when you do that, you miss what worked about the genre. And like I said, there are cleanup games on Steam that do well, but they're a different genre. Um, So yeah, I think this is a very risky game, and I personally am not seeing it, not seeing it work. And this is weird. You're a janitor and a wizard. It's like, why? That just makes the confusion worse. And then it becomes a bullet hell. I think that for what it is, like I'm critiquing the game as a whole, just my first impressions. But for what it is, I think your page is fine. I guess what you might want to do is replace this title. The full Steam titles are pretty bad. You might want to replace these with images. Um, you might want to add some cool borders to your GIFs, but they're good. You have about five or six or something. They look good. Um, this is a bit long. I think especially as you get towards the end, you want to have a quick, short end message because people are at this point are tired of reading. And that's what I had for Dungeon Concierge. Good luck. Um, I hope you manage to do do well enough with this challenging game, in my opinion, to get right. Um, let's look at the next one. Is this a capsule or does a Steam page? There's a page. Let's look at this page. There are two capsules. I personally don't know. I generally like the less saturated colors better, but I like that this shows the shop. Sushi on wheels. Run your dream sushi truck in Sushi on Wheels. Prep ingredients, customize your truck, and serve handmade sushi to hungry locals. Upgrade your gear, discover new recipes, and build your reputation in this cozy management game set in a charming Japanese town. I generally like the art style. But sometimes it's very strange. Sometimes it looks a bit empty. I don't like that there's no sound effects in the trailer. I think the trailer was a bit samey. I wish there was kind of like a story to it. Like it had more of a beginning, middle, and an end rather than um, just stuff, just features. I I personally like trailers that have, even if the game is not a story game, the trailer kind of has a storyline. like telling the story of a playthrough. I don't know if that's standard advice for trailers, but you probably want to know what you're trying to convey with your trailer in terms of a little story. Um, the screenshots are okay. I kind of wish there was more UI for the screenshots. The thing with this is that the way the gameplay looks, it to me it communicates overcooked, but this does not seem to be like an overcooked like. So I'm a bit confused about that. If this is overcooked or not. And if it's not, how is it different? I think you want to start with this rather than the character. You're going to start with gameplay here. And here you want some headers, want some titles. Say, oh, cook, food, go from town to town. We don't see the titles here. And you want to probably want to do it in images and then a little short descriptions that explain a little bit. Customize your van, customize your character. You probably want to split that. Customization is a big selling point, and if you can double dip on that, then you should. Because sometimes people are just gonna scroll, they just see, oh, they just saw one type of customization. Oh, right. Um, you don't want those GIFs to be too long and show too many things, one thing at a time. Simulation management, cooking cozy, cute cats, casual. Time management. Looks right. Looks like you have some similar games. Um, I do think the less saturated capsule matches the game better because the game is not super saturated. So I'll go with A there. Um, but I do like that B has the little, I don't know what this is, the vehicle. It's a sushi truck. Um, yeah, that was Sushi on Wheels. Middle management is next. This is in the Flash Game Vibes Festival. Middle management satirical office building and management game. Design an office. Hire the right talent. Spread your tentacles. Keep your rebellious workers productive. Delve into brains? What? To design the perfect employees. Don't you dare cross your boss or his influential clients. The all caps words are a little bit weird. I think for Don't You Dare makes sense, but the influential, I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, so it's kind of cozy, kind of creepy. I think that's a good match. We do some kind of brain Tetris. Um, Shit gets weird. That was fast. I think you could afford a 1 minute or a 1 minute and 10 or 15 trailer. Um, Especially because this is a kind of a unique game. Like this is different, I guess. You're kind of connecting tentacles. You're building office spaces. You're putting furniture in it. So this seems like kind of a manager game, or you're building up, you're creating a little space. And those games are very much about growth and customization. Um, but then you have this, which I guess is fine. Um, I'm not sure it fulfills the fantasy, right? I do find these management games to be more on the wholesome side. And I think you went for a little less wholesome thing here. So on one hand, this could work and go super viral, right? Oh, look, these tentacles are in people's brains. Um, that could happen. But I think one of the problem that you're ruining the fantasy, I think the core fantasy for people who play this management growth games is wholesome, and this is not wholesome. And I understand you might have some criticism of like office and work and bad bosses and bad managers. Um, I think this might not be the right genre for that critique. But I could be completely wrong here. Um, Interestingly enough, I think idle games have been a good genre for this kind of critique. It could be because idle games are very fast to interact with. So you just select a quick upgrade and you move on and you select the next one, and you're not really customizing. Because when you're building a little office space and you want to make it nice, you want to put a little plant in there to make your little people happy. And this is not about making your little people happy. Because so this genre is about creating little spaces that you like and that you want to see succeed with people that you want to see succeed and happy, and you're building something for them, right? You're putting in the effort to customize. I'm gonna make this little room. You're gonna work in this little room and you're gonna be happy. I think you mixed something evil into a wholesome genre. And I could be wrong here. This could really get people's attention, but I'm not sure that the players, the core players, will want to build something nice to exploit their little people. It kind of feels like a mismatch. But in terms of the page, I think you're doing a good job in selling what you do have. Um, I think this is a good image for what you do. You also want titles, you want images with text, like mess around people's brains, eat your workers. Oh, this turned out. Can you see how big this image turned out with my scale? I don't think this is very good. Might want to rethink this. Um, you're more like this. Looks a bit wonky, but I do think your game's kind of unique. So, for better and worse, right? Uh, you do get some building games. So yeah. Oh, you got it's an idol game as well. Yeah, we got a bunch of idols. Not sure what that is about. What do you have in here? Why are you that is weird. You don't have you don't have clicker, you don't have idol, and you had three idols there, idol clickers. And I think it could be because of tags like capitalism, like those games are sometimes capitalism critiques. Um, Capitalism, resource management. Yeah, I think it's an interesting mix. I'll be on the lookout to see if this surprises me in the super well, and then I'll say, whoa, I guess players who like growth management games are more cynical than I thought. But if I were to make a cynical game, I would go for idle rather than management. I think building and management, you want to bet on a wholesome rather than cynical. Your capsule looks good. I think it represents the game quite well. It does seem to be more of a scaling game than it actually is, because you're building these little spaces, right? And in the capsule you have like what seems to be more like an idle clicker kind of thing, or an automation game where you have this infinite growth. Doesn't seem to be the case in the actual game. You might want to look into that mismatch. Okay, that was it for middle management. We have HorrorMon Photography. They know their game won't sell well. I don't know horror. I'll be quick on this one because I don't know anything about horror. Photograph hallucinations of monsters to make them disappear. When the monsters become real, defend yourself and take more photos to complete your monster decks. Okay. But the FPS in this video doesn't seem great. This is just a weird trailer. It feels very bare bones. There's no audio here. Yeah, you want more audio. You want a more immersive experience in the trailer. I think you'll have something interesting with the flash photos. I think it feels it's aesthetically correct. But it doesn't feel high quality enough. And you clearly know that. You don't have a good about this game. You want titles and GIFs here. But yeah, this has a lot of fundamental problems. Like you said, you just want to go for the next time. Capsule feedback on the overall idea. I'm not even sure what the idea is. I don't know horror genre, so I'm not gonna comment. I think you want to hire an artist for the capsule next time. This is not very good. And yeah, good luck. Good luck with the next one. Keep making games, keep getting better. Nope. Let's close that. Random dragons. Let's chance-based roguelike deck builder with silly and goofy dragons. Okay. Spin the roulette wheel to get insane crit damage on enemies. Manipulate the odds and use effect multipliers. Build your synergic deck and kill random dragons. This is random dragons. There's a lot wrong here. It's hard to know where to start. So I think the main thing is that the animations are very slow. It doesn't feel snappy, and sometimes it does. Like with that hit, it was okay. But a lot of the times it felt slow. The art is bad, but it's almost at the so bad it's good, but not quite. So it just feels bad. It's hard to read. The contrast between stuff is not there. So when I think of it's so bad it's good, I think of like Nubby's Number Factory. This is not that. So yeah, see this zoom ins, this feels slow. The hits feel snappy, but everything else seems kind of slow. You want to this feels slow. This feels slow. Um, yeah, you want more contrast between the background and the characters. Chance-based roguelike. Like, that feels weird. Like, that doesn't tell me enough. Because all roguelikes are chance-based to some extent. I'm sure there's something you want to tell me. when you say chance-based roguelike, but I can't access that. I know it means something to you, but to me it doesn't mean anything. All roguelikes to me are chance-based. And you're not conveying whatever it is that you want to convey, and I'm sure there's something very important. It's not coming through. Um, I think this would benefit from more cynicism, the silly and goofy dragons. Because there's clearly some cynicism with this banana, but we're not really seeing it all the way. It just feels too silly and goofy and childish. It doesn't seem edgy enough. But then, like, does have guns, and then you see, oh, it is edgy. But it's like, it doesn't really come through. The edginess is not really in the entire aesthetic. So it just comes across as weird and like it doesn't know what it's doing. Um, yeah. I think you want to imbue more of the aesthetics with the edginess instead of hiding it a little bit too much. Use effect multipliers is not a good like call to action. What makes this effect multipliers cool? I don't know. Build your synergic deck and kill. I mean, if it is a roguelike deck builder, of course you're going to build a synergic deck. Give me an example or be more specific. And kill random dragons? What? I don't know what you mean by kill random dragons. So it's not interesting. It's not exciting. Like kill, I don't know, dragons that are bananas. I think you can put some of the theme, especially towards the end. Comments, you put a little bit of story or some of the theme. Um, Try to get some attention that way. And random dragons for each played card, you spin a wheel, which gives a possibility to multiply your attack number of times. First of all, this is not very well written. Multiply your attack number of times. This is not grammatical. Secondly, you don't want to be teaching the gameplay here. Even though I'm sure this wheel is important, this is something that you mentioned in the tutorial and not here. Fight silly dragons you have never seen before. I don't think you have never seen before. Just fight silly dragons. Banana dragon, gun dragon, cool dragon. You got it. Not sure what you got it is about. Remember, any attack can be multiplied. Play crazy combos and make a synergic deck. This doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know the game. Using unique hag power-ups. These don't mean anything to me. And they don't even look cool. If at least they looked really cool, you could put them here. I don't know what they do. So they just look meh. Okay, I think this is all I have for Random Dragons and all I have for now. Gonna end this video here, and good luck with all the games.